Good morning and aloha from the traveling brush. This is EODE today. I found my other brushes that I wanted to show you that were different sizes. You can really tell when they're wet, when they come to a point, the width of the brush. And you can see right here, this is one of the small ones. Here's a rat tail brush, which I absolutely love working with. It's really long. And then you have other sizes here. These bamboo here that you can get at Hobby Lobby or at Michael's. No, I think it's Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby is the only place you can buy brushes from the store. Or at least locally here where I'm at. They tend to be really impossible to deal with. They don't hold their shape at all, even when they're wet. They're kind of like really blunt. They're not good for writing kanjis at all. If you notice, if you can see right here, let me see if I can put the paper down. You can see right here, the tip, even when it's really pointed, there's not much of a point there. Okay, unlike say this brush here that you get in a kit. That brush, when it comes to a point, it comes to a very fine point. So when you decide to buy your brushes, that's what you want to look at right there, is the shape of the brush and the point of the brush, so that you can do what you're trying to do. Now if you want a really good wide marker style, like a block style, because this is really good to flatten out really good like that, then this would be the type of brush that you would want. But they're really cheap. They're you buy these brushes at Hobby Lobby, and sometimes the heads fall off. I've got a couple of them where the you can see here, I can't find the head. The head's gone. And the tail end is gone on this one. So they tend to be more cheaply made. But it doesn't mean that it won't do the job. It just makes your job harder. And so if you take the time and actually invest in a very good brush, you're not only going to have an easier time, but you're also going to enjoy painting a lot more when you have a better brush. And as long as you wash it out with water and a little bit of Dawn or soap or whatnot, whatever you're using it with, it'll last forever. Or, well, not forever, but it'll last you a really good long time. So today we are going to paint a waterfall. Now remember to flatten out your paper and remember to use the rough side face up. I have not done my ink yet. Here is my bowl. You can see my bowl. And I'm going to drop some water in my bowl. Several drops more. And knowing me, I've misplaced my stick. Here it is. This one's broken. I got a brand new one. This is what it looks like when it comes in a package. Sometimes the more expensive ones comes in a package that's the container is made of wood, which is really nice. But this is how long it is normally. You can see this one. But I've had like this block here, and I have both pieces to it. I've had it for like 4 years now, and I've yet to wear it all the way down. So the ink sticks last a lot longer because you're only using what you need. You're not wasting any. Whereas if you take and you have this liquid here, which is a liquid that you can buy also at Hobby Lobby, it comes, when it dries up into a plastic kind of substance. You can literally, when it dries, peel it completely out of the bowl. Whereas when this dries, it just dries into like a powder in the bottom of the bowl that if you take your finger and you wipe it across, you will feel the powder. Okay, now I'm going to show you, I'm going to use both techniques today, both types of ink, to show you how it will look on the paper. And because sometimes you'll want a really, really dark, whereas other times you will want more of a gray scale into your art. Now I have put a little bit more water on here because I wanted that gray scale. And I like to take the bowl and I like to sit it sideways a bit. The reason why I want to sit it sideways is, or lean it, so that the water pools to one side. Some bowls actually has a little divot on the inside which the water will automatically pool at the bottom, and then the top section will be more of your darker color, and the bottom with the pool will be more of a lighter scale of color. Today we are going to work on a waterfall. So I remember to dip your brush all the way in the water, pinch out half the water that you do not need, and then you're going to dip it in your ink. Okay? Grab ink on it. And first I'm going to have my top line of my mountainside. Okay? And remember to hold your paintbrush sideways, so that you can get both the dark part and the deeper part of the brush. So we're going to go down this way and this way. Okay. Now, you can see I have nothing left on this brush. It's not coming down quite like I wanted it to. But I want this to look like a cliff. So I'm taking every bit of whatever's on the brush and I'm trying to put it on the paper, okay, to make it look like that rock surface that it's going to just be a sheer drop. I'm going to go back, wet my brush again, and I'm going to make sure I get pinched out the back again, and I'm going to draw the upper part. I'm going to get this ink here, just a bit of this ink, the dark, dark, dark ink, and I'm going to make my tree line. I'm going to gently touch, touch. Now that's another thing you have to worry about, is if you touch and flip it up too much, you'll have little spots throw themselves across the paper. You don't want to do that if you can help it, but if it does happen, then it means that it has character, and you can turn those into birds, or you can turn those into butterflies or dragonflies, or you can leave them there just to have a different look. And you can see how my tree kind of forest is going, and this is where my waterfall is. Like, you got the waterfall coming back here, and then it's going to come down through here. This is where I've decided to have it. Now, to do this, I want to just touch, kind of spread out my brush and make it funky looking. Can you see how that looks? And I want to bring my hand, and you see how it's shaking a little bit. A trick is to take your other hand and lay it, and then put your thumb, on the edge of the paint, my desk here. I have my hand like this, almost like a backwards, if you're going to shoot a cue stick. See how you would have the cue stick like so? Well, instead, I'm actually going to rest my other hand on it. You can either do that with another stick or chopstick or something. And what you do is you would balance that hand on it. That will give your hand the stability that you need, because you want to have your hand straight up and down, and you're going to go straight down, so that it will take and make that waterfall nice and droppy. Looks like it's water coming down. And remember your the other one up over here. Okay. Okay. Now there's never any. They always in the paintings, where the Chinese and the Japanese paintings, the bottom of the waterfall is nothing but mist, so it's always it leads your mind to think what's there rather than taking and actually drawing swirls, though sometimes I'll actually draw swirls. But this is my rock cliff on this side, so I want to make my rock cliff go in a different area, and I'm going to actually switch brushes this time. And well, you can see, I don't think, yeah, you can see again, it's half ink, half water. And I'm going to come down. See, I got too much water on there, but that's okay. Light trees. It's on this part right here. And then I'm going to bring this across. This is where you're standing, looking out over at the waterfall. And I am going to make, because I love trees, I'm going to make the body of the tree. I'm going to go up. And I'm going to put some branches. And come back down with the roots. This is where you're standing. Because the tree needs to have really good roots. So you know that the wind is not going to take and blow it clean off the cliff. Well, so if it's on a cliff, it's definitely going to have some roots. Okay. And we're going to go up that way. And what's really cool, got your branches going here. Okay. You're going to take and get a fan brush. This is my fan brush. It's American style brush. Can you see that? And I'm going to grab some. I'm going to make my tree fan out with some. You know those trees that have those pink flowers on them all over the place? I cannot remember the name of them. We have a lot of them around here. They kind of droop down with this look to it. A little much that time, but that's okay. Because I want it to be able to accent the actual flower, the pink flower that I plan on putting in this. This painting is not only going to be a Sumie ink painting, but it's also going to have watercolor in it as well. And a new cool trick to painting the background on a painting, and you don't want to paint over the top,